Okay guys, so this is Dr. Octaconopus, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you my custom LEGO minifigures from Freddy vs. Jason. And obviously what I have here is Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger. So let's get started. So I guess I'll get started with Freddy. I've kind of already shown this guy before, but I've made a couple of changes to him, so he's sort of a new minifig. I used sort of a dark skin color head instead of a normal one because it's a lot darker. It makes him look burned because, you know, the whole thing with Freddy is that he has burned skin, you know, and I did the same thing for the hand. For the burn marks in his face, I pretty much just used red paint. Turned out pretty good. I also added in all those extra details, like the wrinkles and the outlining on the burn marks. I think that face really suits Freddy. I just really like the facial expression that this minifig has, you know, it just suits the character. I wanted to use an Indiana Jones hat, but I didn't actually have one that I could use, you know, because I'd already used both of my Indiana Jones hats on some of my other customs, you know, and I only had two, you know, so that's pretty much why I used this hat, and this hat, it's okay, but it has this kind of bend in it, you know, that's meant to be able to hold a little feather in there, you know, and Freddy's hat doesn't have that bend, but, you know, you don't really notice it, it doesn't stand out that much, you know, so I guess this hat works fine. The sweater's pretty simple, it's just red with lots of green stripes. I pretty much just had to clean up the sweater a little bit. You know, that's one of the main things that I changed with him. You know, I just sort of cleaned up the sweater, you know, neatened it up, made the outlining stand out a bit more, put a gloss finish over it. I use a gloss finish on all of my minifigures now. It just really brings out the detail, and if I use Sharpie on it, it keeps the Sharpie from rubbing off. Freddy's glove is pretty much just a brown minifig hand, and then the claw parts are actually Wolverine's claws, you know, because the Wolverine minifigure actually comes with a spare, you know. So that's pretty good. I painted some blood on the ends of the claws. You know, I used a glossy red paint for the blood so it looks like wet blood. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. The sweater has this little ripped up part at the bottom, you know, on the front and the back. His pants are just black. I don't think Freddy actually had black pants in Freddy vs. Jason, but mine's not so much a Freddy vs. Jason based Freddy as much as it is generic Freddy Krueger. You know, so it's kind of a mixture of all the different movies. And lastly, his shoes are just brown. Simple, you know. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Freddy. Okay, so moving on to Jason. First thing I want to point out is the hockey mask was made by using a Lego baseball cap and cutting off this part and just using the rest of it, okay, and then gluing it onto the head. Right, and the boots were made longer by gluing some Lego tile pieces on there to make him look taller. Okay, now those two ideas, okay, I give full credit for them to Fucus 101 because he was the one who came up with them. Okay, and I just kind of borrowed them. So, yeah, I have to give him full credit for that. But the paint job itself was completely done by me. Okay, I didn't look at pictures of other customs for this. I just sort of looked at a picture of the actual character, you know. So you can see the mask is a very dirty off-white color, like it was in the movie. It's got all the little holes in there. It's got the red chevrons, which are the little triangle things. It's got the eye holes, and you can see his eyes through there. Got the little reflections in him and everything. Got these bolts that hold the straps on the top and the sides. And on the straps we have these buckles. And on the back, where all three straps meet, we have this ring that is supposed to hold them all together. He's got his grey skin because he's a zombie, you know. I think the color of the grey paint that I used is pretty accurate to the movie. You can see that he has the black shirt, the black pants, and his boots are black also. He's also got the black gloves. He's got the dark blue undershirt, which is accurate, you know. He's got the brown jacket with the collar and the pockets. Simple, but looks pretty good. He's got the machete. I made the machete by modifying a Lego pirate sword. And then I painted it in a mixture of silver and brown to make it look rusty. And then, of course, I used the glossy red paint for the blood. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Jason. So, overall, I'm fairly happy with both of these minifigures. They're fairly accurate to the movie, you know, and I think I managed to capture the look of both characters quite well. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know what you think in the comment section below. Stay tuned for more, and see you next time.